Hello, welcome to Mama Sue's Kitchen. I hope you're having a great day today. It's a beautiful day here. It's real chilly, but it's a pretty day in Alabama. I had someone send me a message and ask me if I had a recipe to a chess pie. And I used to make a lemon chess pie years ago, but hadn't made one in many years. So I searched till I found the recipe. And it's not hard to make. So I'm going to tell you the first thing that my recipe calls for. It says that you can make a homemade crust, or you can buy one of the pie crust that you find frozen. And that's what I chose to do today. And you have to preheat your oven to 450 degrees. And then you put the pie shell in the oven just for 8 minutes. And I'm about to do that. Okay, while that is baking, it says go ahead and mix up the rest of the pie. It calls for 5 eggs. Okay, 5 eggs, 1.5 cups of white granulated sugar, 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour, and 1 tablespoon of cornmeal. Now, I know some of you are thinking, cornmeal? Yes, cornmeal. And before I add the rest of the ingredients, I'm just going to whisk this together real good. Okay. Now, I'm going to I need to get a knife to cut these lemons. I'm sorry. Thought I had everything out. But it says you probably could get enough of this. It's 3 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. And I measured water, and it's almost 1/4 of a cup. So that makes it easier for me to do that. These are juicy. It may not take as many lemons. Look at there. That's almost 1/4 of a cup with just 1/2. That's great. Okay. I think you can see. I love this juicer. That's a Pampered Chef one. Okay. I'm going to put that in here. Mix it a little bit. And it says a tablespoon of lemon zest. I'm going to see if I can just I washed my lemons before. Yeah. Oh, let me get that. There it is. Okay. See, it just gets a little bit of the peeling off. Gives it a real lemony. Okay. Get that in there. A little bit more. And then the very last thing that you're going to put is, it said a half a cup of melted butter, and I melted it and I've let it sit just a little while, and it's not too hot, so I'm gonna put that in there and whisk it together real good. So that's 5 eggs, 1½ cups of sugar, a tablespoon of lemon zest, 3 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice, a tablespoon of cornmeal, and a tablespoon of flour, 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Now I'm only going to put 1/8 of a teaspoon, and the reason is my butter was salted butter. And I think, that I really probably wouldn't have needed that even. Okay, the thing that this recipe calls for that some that I saw did not, but it says to pour it into the pie shell when it comes out after I have cooked it for the 8 minutes. Then I'm going to turn my temperature down, and I will then cook it for 20 more minutes. Then I have to let it sit for several hours to let it firm before I'll cut it. But I'll do all of the steps so you can see exactly how it's going. So I'll be back in just a second. Okay, I took this out. Didn't get that timer turned off, but just gonna whisk this just a tad more and pour it in there while it's hot. I didn't get a deep dish pie shell, so it's not going to hold all of it. But I'm turning the temperature down to 325, and I'm going to cook this for 35 to 40 minutes. And if the edge starts to brown too much, I'll add the pie shell to it. So let me put this back in the oven. Okay, I set my timer, and I will be back when the pie gets done to show you what it looks like. Well, the pie baked for 40 minutes. I took it out, and I have let it sit for a couple of hours on the counter. And I'm going to go ahead and cut it. I know it would be better if I waited a little bit longer, but I just want to show you how pretty these pieces are. I want to make sure that I cut through the crust. Cut just a little of the tip end off. It's delicious. You see how firm it is? It's just enough lemon flavor. It's really good. It didn't take very much to make. And what I did with the leftover that wouldn't go in this pie thing, I put it in a little Pyrex dish, sprayed it a little bit, and put it in there. And I had to cook it longer because it was thicker. But it's really good. But y'all, that's how the inside of the lemon chest pie looks. And I think you would really like it if you like lemon. The recipe will be on my website, which is MamaSue'sSouthernKitchen.com. Y'all, I have my surgery a week from today. So I plan to cook some this week so you can get some recipes, and then I know I won't be able to cook next week, but I will pop in and let you know how I'm doing. But y'all, God's good. He's been with me through the whole thing, and I know He's going to be with me next week. Thank you for sharing my page. And if you still want to order a cookbook, we have a new shipment in. And just go to the webpage and you will see the various ways that you can order. Be salt and light. Let others see Jesus. And you know what? Give a smile to someone. You never know what it'll do for them if they're having a bad day. I'll be back soon.